how to prepare for XAT 2025. This is specifically in the context of someone who is prepared for CAT 24. You know the basics and how do you do this, fine. So, but two things that are absolutely non-negotiable that you should definitely do. One is take a bunch of mocks. XAT is a whole different world. You should definitely take previous year questions as mocks, previous year papers as mocks. It's super useful to get a sense of what this world is. And you need to understand that XAT is very much like CAT and also not at all like CAT. And I know it seems like I'm not making sense, but I am making sense. Right? So the syllabus, framework, what they are testing, idea of thinking about how your gray cells work, the framework of language and mathematics playing a role, all of those are relevant. But the style of question, what they are looking to test are different. So make sure that you can translate your CAT engine to the XAT world. So mocks are super important, especially previous year question. The second thing, the elephant in the room is BDM, business decision making. So you've got to get a hang of that. That is crucial and substantial. Very rarely do you get one chunk which is 1/3 of the paper and very different from something else. You can't, there's no syllabus for BDM, but there are mechanisms to amp your BDM approach and style and the way you go after those questions really well. So spend time, dwell on this, practice that. There's a sizable minority of people who say BDM, so I say yes, sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't get it. Isme kuch to hoga hi nahi. That is nonsense. I have known people who don't have a BDM antenna when they start. They prepare, do iteration and definitely get better to the extent that they surprise themselves. I never thought I would get a feel for BDM, but now I do. So don't be snarky about BDM and kill your own chances. I'm saying this as someone who has been like that. And so definitely don't be that. Put your head down, go through tons of BDM videos and say, okay, there's some pattern here. I'll pick that up. Maybe I'm not going to be a 10 out of 10, but I'm right now 3. I suck at this section. I'll take myself to 6 or 7. Do that. And the adjustments you need to make in Quant, the level of difficulty of individual questions goes up sometimes substantially above CAT. And some questions are super tough. Right? That means there are two kind of responses that you need to do. You have to leave questions more aggressively, and you'll have to accept that you have to spend longer to crack questions. And some questions are time consuming. You have to say, look, maybe this will take 3 minutes to crack, 4 minutes to crack. I'll hang in there and crack it. That also means that the questions that take only 1-2 minutes to crack they're precious. So to leave questions sooner, do the very few really easy ones, then come back, spend more time and do this. So the XAT, if CAT questions are in this band of difficulty, XAT are like this. The tougher ones sometimes are much tougher. There are some simpler ones also. The band is broader and there's more pressure to nail the simplest ones, to build that way of thinking. And they'll skip more, attend the simpler one and then flirt with the slightly tougher ones also. That adjustment you need to make. Similar one for verbal. The typical thing is in XAT verbal there's going to be some kind of poem or poetry of some sort. That is typically there. So you need to get to a position where you can grab that. So get some practice to get a sense of that. Verbal also is unconventional, slightly different. So to make an adjustment for why it is different. In Quant, the DI and data sufficiency parts come into play, for which you will need practice, because it is different from the LRDI that we see in CAT. You have to make sure you go to that world. And data sufficiency is something that the learning curve is super steep early on. There's an error rate that is there in DS because you've not yet got the hang of the choices. You do 25 questions, you get better. So do spend that time to get a hang of that style of question. It's a super crackable exam. I don't think it's a high quality exam like CAT, because sometimes there are errors and inconsistencies, the scoring is weird. I'm not a big fan of how the overall scheme of the exam is concerned, but the juiciest questions in XAT are typically way better than the best questions from CAT. So there's some fun to be had if you can hang in there. So XAT has its moments and really powerful moments they are. So you have to figure out a way to be available to grab those moments. So make those adjustments. Right? Best wishes. XAT.